trip, amazing trip.
So I'm just going to start the recording for our last meetup of the year. Yorm didn't want to keep it on record, but we want to celebrate, you know, Argentina's win in soccer.
Vamos, vamos.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, it was amazing, and you know, I think everybody agree here in this room that these guys deserve it more than nobody. Great team effort. All the world have been cheering up for this team. So, yeah, good news for Argentina after a crazy year.
It's interesting to recognize how sports can unite us, you know, and we can come around a soccer game, you know, a team sport, and come around and cheer and be happy about that, despite what else is going on. So, yeah, I think we have a few things to celebrate. Well, we just jumped right into it. Yorm and I thought we were going to be here all by ourselves. So we started planning next year already, 2023, the next event, and thinking about some stuff. Miguel popped in, and Mizo, Saraf, and Guillermo. Here comes Newman, Sebastian, Marie, welcome. Bruno, Curtis. Marie, I don't recognize your name, but it doesn't mean you haven't been here before. It just means that I don't know you well enough that you're inside my heart yet. So
hello. No, it's my first time.
Okay, there you go. Whew, I always like it when that happens. How did you end up coming here?
I found the event on Meetup. So yeah, this is how I found. Yeah.
Beautiful. And where are you calling in from?
I'm from Lebanon right now.
Wow, very cool. Very cool. I've been to Lebanon 5 days, many years ago. So yeah. That's when I learned, when I was in the Middle East, that you have to be careful if you say Banadora or Tomaten at that time, because you could tell where you were from. Does that make sense?
I've never heard it. I know Banadura, but I don't know the other word.
Tomaten is the other Arab word for tomato. And if you said Banadora instead of Tomaten, then they'd know that you were from Lebanon or from certain areas. So, you know, as I come from Canada, you know, and that was one thing that really was significant for me, of this fear, this separation of countries, the cultural aspects. Maybe I came from it wasn't that I came from Canada. I was just very naive about a lot of stuff. So over the next 40 years, I definitely have grown up a little bit. But anyhow.
Okay.
Welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you're Arabic as well.
I may suggest, I mean, because we're in the end of the year, and also there's a lot of faces that now are new faces, maybe I thought actually to share a strategic plan we prepared last year.
That could be very well. Let's do a quick intro first, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's check in.
Perfect.
Curtis, I haven't seen you for a while. It's funny because Saraf was just talking about rap, and he says they talk about emotions, and you said something about poison. What's poison in rap?
I was saying, even when we have terms of endearment, or we're showing love to our fellow colleagues and humans, we use words that aren't filled with love.
Like
so poison. And that becomes the poison. Yeah.
So Curtis, this is where I saw your cup, and doesn't it say arsenic on it? So you're drinking arsenic. Well, cheers. I think that's going to lead into you maybe checking in if you want. Let's give a chance to check in.
Sure, yeah. It has been eventful. Picking up some things at Little Fish and Gimbal Labs, and working through the candidate nomination of Circle, and that's been keeping me busy. Just, spreading out there. I haven't been able to meet back here in C4C for a while because Little Fish, Gimbal Labs, and Snap really all have a meeting at the same time as C4C, and I tend to actually attend all three. So having a fourth one at the same time was a little bit too much. So today I took a break, and a couple of the groups are taking Christmas breaks. So I'm here. But actually, I did have a question. Is there a catalyst today? Because I see it on my calendar. Are you guys aware of a catalyst?
I don't think they're meeting. We'll check in at the top of the hour just in case.
Yeah, no, so there is actually another catalyst of SingularityNet that's being supported, and it's being supported kind of by the community as well. So yeah, so there is this catalyst today at I think at the top of the hour.
Same time?
Today they make it at the same time. Then Daniel asked them to do it next time when we come back, to do it in a different time. But I think today is in the same time, which is I will tell you 1 second, not in this computer.
We'll find that information for you. And Curtis, you're always part of Cardano for Climate, whether you're here or not, right?
Thank you.
That's the thing, is you can pop in and out. You come and
yeah,
you go.
And a lot of this, Little Fish for sure, and a lot of, some of the interaction Gimbal Labs and so on. A lot of that, very much related. Yeah. And Little Fish, I don't know if you know, they came out of Cardano4Climate, and then grew to where they grew. So that's part of the connections across the board.
We need to find our places and use our time wisely, right? So.
Yep.
So yes, at 6 there is the Deep Fund Town Hall #1 of SingularityNet.
So that's in an hour and 45 minutes from now?
No, in 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And I see that, so both, the Deep Fund and Catalyst. So it sounds like, Gorm, you said Catalyst is canceled for this week?
Catalyst will not be until the second week of January, I think.
Okay,
that's
so
from my understanding.
So, and please make use of the chat too, if you feel like anybody wants to say something, or hi, or where you're dialing in from. I save the chat, and it's something that I've gone through in this last year, because our record keeping, being a volunteer group, our record keeping wasn't very good, in this past year. And it's like I've gone through videos and chats, and it's been kind of neat to reflect over how we've come. And Curtis, I can probably tell, just almost the day that you joined our group, just like Marie just popped in, and, see how we kind of grow and flex and grow and flex, just like the seasons. We have winters, we have summers, we have springs, falls, it's okay. It's all good. We're not about the numbers. We're not about the money. We're about the passion and the purpose. So that's what keeps us going and continuing. Sebastian Pabon, would you like to check in? And you're on mute.
Sorry.
That's okay. How you doing?
Fine. All good. Thanks.
Oh, good. Okay. And Bruno, where are you dialing in from? A sunny beach again? It's minus 30 here.
Unfortunately, not a sunny beach. Just at home right now. I was doing some work, but I saw you post the meeting link, so come say hello, see what's going on with the C4C crew.
Awesome. Well, it's very casual, no agenda today. Just meeting up, checking in, sending us all off into the next year. So very, very cool. Awesome. Newman, how about you checking in?
Our friend Newman.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm waking up. I'm in California, and enjoying the winter solstice day, our shortest day, longest night, when we switch over from fall into the winter proper. And I'm doing my reflection you know, the end of the year, and just finished with family visits, and yeah. I'm pretty stoked to come in and visit again with the C4C, see what's going on, and see all your beautiful faces, the smiles, the love, the passion, the things that go on here. Good morning, everyone, or good morning from the West Coast.
Saraf is in Vancouver, so we happen to be in the same time zone, which is kind of cool.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific Rim. Guillermo checked in. Anything other than soccer on your brain? How are you doing?
Everyone, no, pretty much we have been recovering, getting sober, and getting ready for for next year challenges. So good to see you guys still gathering, and it's about challenging ourselves. So hi California, hi Canada. It's warm here, hot as hell in Cordoba, Argentina. So looking forward to keep working as a team and collaborating. We have been chatting and putting some objectives on the line with Sebastian. Looking forward to work with Nurgo and Gimbal Labs community. So we need to turn ideas into concrete, tangible results. So that's all what we're here for. And
Here's Bruno.
Yeah, no classes, so dealing with the kids at home and getting ready for Christmas. We're traveling to Buenos Aires to get drunk with the family and clients. Okay, that's what it is all about.
Well, you said it, putting ideas into action. That's what this year is going to be about, putting the ideas into action and getting our boots wet, dirty, muddy, mud under our fingernails, like real stuff. So Bruno, you've got your hand up. Go ahead.
Just had a thought. Did you guys say that like there was going to be a Singularity Net fund that's going forward, or just meeting, or is it the meeting for the fund?
Yoram, you know more about this Singularity Catalyst. What's up with that? And you're on mute.
No, I'm trying to open it. Yeah, so they have a fund basically. It's round 2 of the fund, so very early stage. And so they have a fund, and today they have their first town hall.
So they're gonna have one during the time that Catalyst is on a break. They're still gonna go forward with their side of things.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Just thinking, I guess. I know we were saying that we want to start doing some actions now, but maybe, still have a week left. Is it worthwhile thinking about how potentially there could be an overlap there, like between what we do and potentially what Singularity Net's looking for? I don't know exactly what the challenge is, but maybe we can, put some climate-related stuff into there. It could be cool. I think AI is nice technology that we can, start thinking about.
I love what you say, and if I look, I'm going to share with you here. Everyone can see what we wrote just last year. What will be our plan for 2022? And I mean, everyone can go into that and so on. And I think we need to write a plan for 2023. And a big part of that will probably be connecting the networks, collaboration and connecting the dots. I mean, we know that collaboration is a key, and so that will be probably a huge part of what we want to do next year. And how we collaborate, how we connect the dots. I mean, we already, as the community, started to interact with other communities like IOTA, Celo, and other communities. I mean, our objective is to create collaboration that show use cases for impact for climate, right? So, definitely I will be there tonight, and wherever we can put something related to what we do, definitely will promote that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And by the way, just to connect another dot, Dr. Mihaela, which is also very impact driven, she also worked with SingularityNet, and we are in very good contact with her. So yeah, so I mean, everyone, I think maybe we'll make a copy of this page and create the 2023 page, and everyone will be welcome to write their remarks and ideas. And we can do that actually right now. But big part of that will be collaboration, and now we collaborate and now we share information. That's kind of, at least from my perspective, then everyone can.
Do you want me to just copy it, Yoram, or you're going to do
Yeah,
that?
let's copy it and then share it, call it 223, and kind of we can even open space for ideas of people. And probably from now until the end of January, we can all write and make sure we have a document for 223.
So do you want to change it? Do you want to have it 2022 and 2023, or do you want to have just 23?
I think we can have 23 with link to this one, and then we'll start writing some chapters, and then people can start filling up. But 222, again, I mean, it's amazing because we started 222 and we knew each other only for a couple of months. And again, there was no structure, no boss.
Mm-hmm.
And we wrote already this plan together. And so many things happened this year, which is mind-blowing. So looking forward really to make 223 even better.
Yeah, I'm going to just do this. Hang on a second here.
Yeah, this is a great document. What I see in there is the website or documentation. It's a great way, and it's an alignment tool. A lot of those things, we worked on. A lot of them are still sort of in the top of the brain for 2023, and some of them, we can go back and say it's what we lost sight of that, or where are they now? It's a great organizing document.
It keeps coming back. The important stuff keeps coming back, just like the important people keep coming back, right? I think that Nori said that once on one of our sprints. I'm sorry, I'm just struggling with trying to get this to do a link. He said that on one of our sprints. I think Kate had asked, well, what about all these? We have all these stories that we put in the sprints now, and some of them seem to get lost. And Nori said it well. He said, the things that are important will show up again, so we can let stuff go. It's like this FOMO that we have all the time. We got to do this, got to do that, got to do this. We better get this done. And then it's like, we have to learn to let some of that stuff go and realize that the really important stuff will come back. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got it here. Let's see if I can get this without it blasting into the.
But the message also here for all of you. I mean, this document was written a year ago just by a few of people, and then we started to work based on that. And everyone here is welcome to be an important part of 223. I mean, it's really up to us how we collaborate, how we do. Everyone can shape what we want to do. It's a platform for everyone to connect and do things and collaborate and help each other in so many ways. I mean, right? So yeah, I mean, with Sebastian, so many collaboration, right? Curtis is obviously with the Little Fish and so many connecting points. Miguel now that is coming, with Margo and with the media coming in. Guillermo with his incredible projects, right? Bruno, I mean, I don't know if you know, I connected you guys, Glenn, after the summit with SeedStars for discussion. So there's a lot of discussion and collaboration that can happen and that we can facilitate. Yeah. But as a platform, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's all okay there. I did copy it into the 2023. Just double check. I can be a little bit dyslexic sometimes, as you know, telling you guys, Miguel, that you should be here at 3 p.m. UTC when it was supposed to be 4 p.m. Apologies on that one. But, that's the good thing about the team. We check on each other. we do have to have a core team that works to, I think it's called a steering committee, right? We're
Working team.
centralized, a working
Yeah.
team, you know, so we're centralized in that sense, but the reins, the control is loose. Where it
Yeah, and the
goes,
working team is open. Everyone can join the working team. It's I mean, it's not so.
and
And
you can
everyone
come
can
and
do.
go,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Depending on what you need to do and stuff. So flexibility is key. So I think we're going to be crashing the Singularity Catalyst. It'll be kind of cool. They'll bump up their numbers right off the bat. We all go. And so Marie, just to fill you in on this, most of us have come through Cardano. For myself, I showed up in Cardano a couple years ago, knew it was an interesting blockchain. And then somehow I ended up in Project Catalyst, which is an experiment in governance that's been running since, is it 2 years about now? And something like that. And it's had a fund that people could apply for and then voted on. And now it's morphing and things are changing. So most of us came through Cardano first and then Project Catalyst. And now there's a new, is it called a side chain, right? Singularity would be a side chain of Cardano. Correct me, please. Yeah, getting some nods.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so still built on Cardano. Still built on Cardano, or is it a separate blockchain?
Technically,
Curtis.
a side chain would be a separate blockchain.
Yeah. I think now they're actually building on they build on Ethereum and they're actually moving the chain to Cardano.
Okay.
Yeah. The easiest way to represent it is you're splitting the settlement layer and the computation layer. And in this case, the side chain is the computation layer, and then it settles on the Cardano blockchain.
And settling meaning transactions happen on the Cardano blockchain, because it can be confusing.
Yeah,
for
that's
outsiders.
that is a tough one. Yeah, because that's how Hydra, Hydra is going to report back to the main chain. But in the case of a side chain, it could permanently detach and always stay inside the side chain, or it could every once in a while, report back to Cardano. I guess it just depends on how that side chain is actually built.
Mhm.
In the case of Singularity Net, I don't know
Mhm.
how they
And
do
I think
that.
currently they operate a sidechain. I think currently they're just like, they're multi-chain because they do have some things on Ethereum still. And I think they have plans to move to like Binance and stuff. At least that's what I've seen from their side. So they're very open, but I think they like, Ben Goodsu, he's like their CEO, gets along with Charles, and they must agree philosophically on some things like Haskell and stuff as a programming language. So yeah, they definitely, think it's a good idea to be building on Cardano. And as you can see, with Catalyst, they join Catalyst, so that's pretty cool. Be nice to see what proposes over there.
Be interesting to see. Yoram and I were visiting on Thursday, I think. I don't know, yesterday, Thursday, something. I don't know when it was. Yesterday. Yeah. And it was like, who would have thought that in a year ago we would end up here in this year? And then it's like, okay, where will we be in 1 year from now? Who will show up? Who will keep working as what will we have done? That's the exciting thing, is that we have these kind of markers in our calendars. Here's the end of a year. What are we going to do this year? Got a strategic plan started. Hopefully we're going to do this. And yeah, Guillermo's, that's it. We got kids on the video. That's it. I'm out of here. Cole, do you want to check in? We did a quick check-in earlier. Are you out
Hey
skiing?
guys,
We
how's
don't
it
hear you.
going? Sorry about that. Yeah, no, sorry, I woke up a little late. I was out with my cousins last night, but hope everything's going well. And I'm trying to get that video together really quick. I'm trying to find it, and then we could play it as well.
So I believe it's on
Yeah.
our Zoom account, recorded to the cloud. And
Okay.
if you want, I can download it to YouTube.
I might be able to as well. But I do have a small other little cut. So yeah, let me find it and yeah, maybe we could play that.
Okay.
It will be very cool if you share the clip actually of that you
Awesome.
prepared.
Yeah, just give me one moment.
And so this is something that Cole's been working on for quite some time. Why Cardano? Why Cardano4Climate? Putting together a video clip. We've got a form. You can send in your own. And then I hate doing that. I hate standing in front of a video unless I'm doing this and it happens naturally, then I'm okay. But, you know, if I do a little 30-second video, it takes me 8 hours before I'm happy with it. If it happens naturally, well, it's happened. You know, there's nothing else I can do about it. But, you know, if any of you want to be part of that, we can possibly record now and just, yeah. Questions?
I just want to say one
Go ahead.
thing. I opened this form for 223 to be editors. Everyone can edit. So if anyone have ideas or things that you would like to see in 223, just put it there. You know, Guillermo, you said you want to see concrete stuff happening, right?
Mhm.
And so anyone that have ideas or want to see specific stuff, just have it there. Okay.
Do you want to go
So
over that more,
that's
Yoram? Do you want to go over the street, what it should look like, or just, you know, how do we go about editing this for one? You know, I want to
so
go in there.
initially, yeah, I mean, initially what I did, I just open another space to write ideas for 223. But so kind of maybe I keep it for now open. Everyone can see below what we did before for 222. So you can take ideas from there. Maybe in the next few days we can form it a little bit, or if everyone has ideas to form the structure. I think it's good to just put a lot of ideas, and maybe, you know, first meeting of January we can actually start working on with the community on kind of fine-tuning all of that, and then have a plan for the mid-January maybe, if that makes sense. But
There's nothing wrong with starting it now either. If there's anything that's coming up, I just also want to mention that, you know, I mentioned the sprints that we started doing. We meet Monday, Tuesday, we have their meetup on Wednesday and Friday. And we have the working team comes together and takes a chunk, and we work through these sprints. And I've been finding it super helpful.
So the sprint for 220, I mean, January, definitely the first 2 weeks should be a sprint for the strategic plan. But people can start thinking about it before. Maybe you'll write a message about it to all the community, to all the people that are not here as well. And that people can start thinking about it, put in ideas if they have. And then we kick off the sprint early January. And then we see really what people want to focus on what we believe. I mean, we had a lot of sessions. Yeah, please, sorry.
Well, I'm curious if there's actually two things. One, the sort of sprint plan, and people that are using here on the call, if they're using the agile sprint sort of thing, which is basically like making a little strategic plan for the sprint period, like a 2 or 3 week sprint plan, and then this idea of like agenda strategy setting at the end of the year. I mean, it is a common thing to reflect on what went on, and then sort of think about like what could go on in the next thing. Is everybody doing that, or does anybody have like methods or other communities that they're working in or have worked in before, like jobs or so that's the question, is like the microcosm sprint and the macrocosm sprint in the year. Anyone have anything like that goes on? And then the idea being like, are there methods and ways of doing it? You know, one of the C4C's missions or proposals was the community collaboration standards. It's like, are there standard practices, best practices, sometimes called SOPs, standard operating procedures, you know, that are out there? And so we look for those and try to build on them. if anyone has any of those to share.
Because that's something in our journey we've discovered, that there's a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't work, you know, when you're decentralized and a community coming together from all different perspectives. And then we're starting to recognize that, Yoram, can you make Cole co-host, please? Unless I'm host.
Yeah.
I'm just going to share my screen just real quick, because this is something, you know, that we've started to do with this sprint. And again, if there's something else that works, then we're game for trying this on. But this is what a sprint looks like. And it's broken up into 4 weeks, just like the moons. And our sprint 4 just finished. We have a free day on the one Friday, and then we show the work that we've been doing over the 2 weeks. And I've been finding that it's really cool, because I'm a person that works by myself, and I've been loving this checking in and being able to get better at what I do. So I'm finding it's a pretty fun, cool system.
What exactly are the meetings that you guys have, like throughout a sprint, like from start to finish, let's say? Well, what exactly are those meetings? Do you have one at the beginning to plan out the sprint and one at the end to look back and kind of reflect on what's been done?
Exactly. So the Mondays are a sprint planning. There's and that's basically, and Newman, please correct me if I'm wrong, it's assigning roles, because each of us take on a role, a facilitator of the meeting, a scribe, admin, and then we tag these. We gather stories. These are the stories that we gather, and then we have tasks that we get done. And this is actually a really cool way, because we're getting stuff done this way as a group, as a community, rather than just individuals going off and doing our projects. Newman, do you want to explain this better? Yeah.
No, that was a good description. It is a hybrid system. I mean, this system is sometimes is called agile, and then there's a couple of different parts of it. But we're doing it in our own way. There's a couple of things to it. One is the sprint planning, where we talk about the user stories. There's a lot of like vocabulary, vernacular. So one is the user story, and they have sort of formats. In that sprint planning, actually up on the screen now are those green stickies. Those are the sort of themes, the general categories. Because we all have to prioritize.
Yeah, we all came together and we made up our little purple sticky notes. These are ideas that we have that we'd like to see happen. And then Nori organized it into these 3 topics, right? Or stories. Is that right, Newman?
Oh. Yes, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
The themes are the green stickies, and the pinks are the stories in sort of non-story format, but they're just sort of the tasks and the things that we're the more specific things underneath that. So holiday party, and underneath holiday party is holiday party planning and community poll, etc. So that's the planning. And then we would have a story gathering, meaning that we kind of just generate ideas of what we could do, tasks or things. And then there's a stand-up. I don't know if we do really a stand-up.
That's on the last Friday, isn't it? Demo day and reflection.
So the demo day
the stand-up is in between. Sorry.
Yeah, the stand-up is in between, where we sort of we check in or signal to each other how well it's doing, and basically if we need help. And they use the term blocker, like if something is in the way that others can help us with. So like if we're doing the holiday party planning and it was like, oh, I need help with making a graphic, or I don't know what to blah blah blah. That's what would be going on in the stand-up. And then at the end we have a demo day where we sort of explain, sort of like a show and tell, like what we did, and and sort of and release the if there's any documentation or feedback or etc. And then there's actually another one called the sprint reflection, where it's more like a feedback. Did we achieve what we wanted? Was there anything that we want to change about the actual structure of the organization? I'm genuinely curious, because this is the first time that I've ever done it. I've always heard about it in the 20 years that I've been working in tech, because it is something that it is a tech specific thing, meant to organize and manage, technical software development teams. But I think that it is, like Melanie says, I think that it is something that decentralized groups could use, simply because of the semi-autonomous nature of it, that you can just create a sprint plan. Here are some things, and this is a point that I want to make. The individual, the ikigai of every single one of us in this decentralized network, we are important. You, who's listening to my voice, either now or in the future recorded on YouTube, you have an idea inside of you that is important. It's important for you to get it out of you. It's important for me, for you to get it out. Like, if we all stop doing the kind of BS work that just because we need to do it or whatever, there's an innate value in each of us that needs to get out and into the world. And that's what decentralized organization means to me. And this tool, the Agile Sprint, can do that for you. But it requires a shift in mindset. It requires a turning the balance into the individual to do individual projects in community. It's an important part of the process for me.
Thank you, Newman. It's definitely something new for me, but that's something that we're doing. Bruno, for your question, so we meet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we have our meetup, and Friday again, 3 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, 3 p.m. UTC, and Friday is 4 p.m. UTC. And you can jump in any day that you want to. So, Yoram, anything?
Yeah, no, it helps to focus the community and then put targets and achievements. So it's very, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really cool process.
We're getting
and
stuff
I'm adding it to
done.
the strategic plan for 2023. Is work based on sprints and define the sprints, which sprint we want and all of that, right?
We're going to see a lot more
really
stuff done, and we're going to also see the one thing I really love is on Fridays when we get together and show the mini works that we're doing. They're not big hooplas, big things that you put together, but they're little things, and we can start seeing progress, which is really encouraging. So yeah. Newman, I was looking at you and thinking I want to ask Peter. We've done a little bit of a check-in. Do you want to check in and maybe let everybody know where you live?
Hi, everybody. I live in Vancouver, Canada, where it's very cold right now.
So does Sarav. I just had to say that Sarav is in Vancouver as well.
Hey, Sarav, whereabouts? I'm in New West.
I'm in Poco right now.
Oh, so we're neighbors. Yeah,
we're real close. Yeah,
an hour apart at the most.
I've never seen you at a C4C before. Welcome. I know Melanie is in the province, but a little bit further away. Yeah, and so checking in. Yeah, no, I just had it set in my calendar as like a C4C Christmas party, and I'm up for a Christmas party, and I haven't seen.
We got pretty serious right off the bat. We did celebrate Argentina's win at the beginning.
Okay.
So
okay, good. Yeah, who's from Argentina? Is that Newman? You from Argentina? No, it's
Guillermo.
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, no, I was very happy for Messi. I'm a huge soccer fan, but I'm born and raised in the Netherlands, so my team didn't make it. So, and I'm still upset about losing to Argentina in 1978 when I was a crying 7-year-old. So I've got some PTSD from Argentina, but no, I was happy to see Messi win it. Cool. So yeah, no, like I wasn't quite. It sounds like you guys are full on into a business planning working meeting, which is cool too. Like applying Agile to C4C. That sounds exciting. Yeah, like I just checking in. Sure. Like so, I was pretty heavily involved in C4C early in the year when we had our Cardano proposal and was pushing hard to get that funded. in Catalyst, and had a good home and base in C4C to kind of help promote that and find partners. And then that didn't get funded, but our Landano project did. And then I've still, stayed in touch, like largely with Yoram as well, kind of through the social impact kind of like focus of C4C, right? And making Landano one of those kind of real-fi projects that can show off the social impact side of Cardano. And yeah, I feel really at home in this community. Like, I've Cardano is just such a great community to build in and be a founder and builder in, and there's lots of drama and ups and downs, but end of the day, like I wouldn't want to do this anywhere else, and C4C is like a huge part of that. Like I think we give each other a lot of emotional support here first and foremost, right? Like I think maybe that's a big part of it. Just Melanie sets this great kind of nurturing vibe, and that's she is a mother first and foremost, her most important job. It almost kind of feels like she mothers this kind of group as well in a way. I don't want to do gender stereotypes here, but what I'm trying to say is that I feel like this group has like, it's not just your average technical group, right? Like it's really a community, and it's like, and I think so much of that is because we're here for social impact and for like climate change, and not just making a quick buck. We all still need to figure out how to make a living too, and that that's an exciting, interesting part of blockchain as well, but it's not our number one reason for being here. And I think that's what brings us together as a group, right? So yeah, I'm just like, I get super motivated when I see like Melanie and Yoram doing their thing, like seeing Yoram in Lausanne, and he just totally kicked ass and had he just organized such a great session and brought together so many people and does it in such a professional way. It just makes me really proud to be part of that group, and like and just just being part, like just like it is like we feed off each other, right? Like we're building a network of people that can help each other. And so like at the Lausanne session, we had Yoram's been working with Harry Hellier, and he did kind of a great job kind of like facilitating the session. And just right now, Doris and I are at Landano, we're like, we need a business coach, we need somebody to kind of help us go figure out where we are, where we need to go next to their business plan. And Harry was the perfect personality. Again, his personality fits our vibe, right? Like he's not like your suit wearing like corporate consultant, right? So but he has tons of corporate experience. So anyway, so through that, I shook Harry's hand, and now Harry's been doing our business coaching for Landano. So that's just another example of how the network of C4C works, right? Like, and we're getting that benefit as a project. And in the process, of course, we promote Cardano, right? Like Landano has now taken a lead. I took a lead in setting up this Cardano RealFi consortium. Obviously, tons of overlap with C4C and C4C social impact, but again, we're trying to be even a little bit more. I guess it's a bit more of it for technical focused, or like not just social impact, right? But again, what I'm trying to say is I don't want to take away any like attention or momentum from Cardano C4C social impact, but I think RealFi Consortium is a good complement to that. There's obviously a lot of crossover between people in the same group, but not everybody in the RealFi Consortium is necessarily interested in social impact. Like we've got like music rights and that kind of stuff as well, right? So, but yeah, I feel like it's all of that whole vibe of like wanting to work together and reaching out to other people. Like it's just, it feels like that's kind of comes naturally, like, but that was a culture that was defined and set. And I feel like Melanie and this group kind of, and the Catalyst, Catalyst as a whole, and within Catalyst as a whole, kind of set that culture, right? And I think that's really important. I think that's like something really magical and an intelligible asset we have in this community that we need to think about consciously capturing and maintaining. Like I'm the founder of an open source company here in Vancouver. So I created open source software for archives and libraries, and a lot, like there's a lot of that same culture in open source, right? Like sharing knowledge, sharing IP, being okay with that, like feeling comfortable about that. And then creating a culture where it's not totally competitive, where people are encouraged to like,
collaborate, right?
Collaborate and ask stupid questions, right? Like, I don't know the answer, you know the answer, right? And then we've done this, how can you use this? Like, and so, but also just it's this weird intangible that's corporate culture. We call it corporate culture in management speak, right? And I managed to, like, you know, so I set up that company 10, 15 years ago. I went away, came back for a while, I got away again. But that company now is a company of 30 people. It still has that same original kind of hacker open source vibe that we had at the beginning, like that ethos of like, we're here to help the community. We're not just here to take money. We're here to like build good tech, help archivists and libraries. Anyway, so I feel like, you know, this year's kind of set the tone for culture as well, right? So I think like, you know, C4C is kind of like an inspiration or a catalyst or like a little like safe place for that. And I think we need to keep nurturing that. Like if Cardano is going to be the,
We will.
you know,
So Peter, I'm going to just, sorry to interrupt. I'm going to,
anyway, that's my take. So that was my so I'm just super grateful to be here. I'm not always around for C4C stuff,
Yeah.
but you're always on my mind. I'm always keeping track of what's going on, and I try to pop in as much as I can. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for all the support I've gotten from you guys over the year.
you are C4C, just like I said to Curtis. Everybody here is Cardano for Climate. You know, whether you show up every day or show up once in a while, you're part of this, a really big important part of this community. I did drop a document into the chat. Again, it's our strategic, we're starting on our strategic plan for 2023. If you want to take a look at that, it's going to be, we'll probably end up doing a lot of sprint work. That's the process to get some of this stuff done. But let's get some of these thoughts down, these stories, create our stories. What is it that we want to see done in 2023? And it's really interesting because I was thinking about Boaz, and I've wanted him to meet you, Peter, because he reached out to me on Telegram about preserving forests and how do we go about that. Sarav is in Vancouver, same idea. And we have this, well, tree planting is fine, but how do we get to the source of the problem to begin with? And it's not just cutting down forests, it's people cut down forests because they need wood to cook with. They need wood for heat. I just put another log on my fire. But you know, the system is broken where they burn the slash piles now in big piles instead of firewood, you know, and doing it in a different way. So there's systemic change. I want you to meet Boaz, and hopefully if there's something still going on with Cardano,
yeah, no, definitely.
Let's run with it this year.
Cool. Let me give you two quick 2-minute update. So yeah, Cardano never got funded, but the concept there was tokenize old growth forest trees, because like Melly's pointing out, the tree is worth more in the ground than it is chopped down, right? And a lot of the focus right now is on NFTs for planting new trees, which is great. But our concern is that let's preserve what's already in the ground. The actual carbon sequestration value of these old growth trees are worth way more. So that was the thesis for Cardano. We didn't get funded, but in the process of doing that, we network with other projects. And so I and my other team member, Kim, became involved with also a local BC-based project called Sentry, which is essentially taking the same strategy or taking the same philosophy, is that we need to preserve as much old growth forest as possible. And they're a great project. So it's spelled CENTREE.org. I'll put it in the chat. So I've been staying involved with them as a technical advisor, and Kim has been staying involved with them as a PR advisor. And they're essentially in the process of doing a raise, but they have like an open Discord. They have weekly meetings. And so we've got people here in BC that are, the whole project kind of started from the Fairy Creek protests. It came out of that, people talking at the Fairy Creek protests. Creek is
Peter, I just want to hold you for a second, because in 5 minutes there is the other town hall to whoever wants to join.
So I'll finish with that. So there's still lots going on. There's a project going on. The cool stealth strategy is actually buying lumber licenses from lumber companies and then not actually cutting the forest down.
Beautiful.
So that's
well, I think forest preservation. Yeah.
So yeah, but that's an active project in our space. We haven't picked up. We're still blockchain agnostic right now. So for those people that are interested in that, go to that site and hop on the Discord and just join the community, because it's just it's just a very good discussion group for people passionate about this topic and trying to figure out how to do something about it, and using kind of Sentry as a way to do something together. So that's where you need to be.
Perfect. And yeah, and by the way, RealFi, it's an incredible initiative. Thank you for taking it. And yeah, we'll obviously part of that and will help as needed to that. And we met a couple of weeks ago with CF, and actually I also, it was one of the slides was about RealFi, the RealFi that you organized.
Super.
Anyway, Cole, you want to show the video? So we show the video now, and then whoever wants to go to the SingularityNet Catalyst event. Yeah.
I'll drop that link in again. That's the first one you shared, Yoram, right?
Just let me know if you hear the sound.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll start it.
Cardano4Climate for me is first of all about the people. Impact-driven people from all over the world and from different cultures coming together. The second thing is about collaboration. People are willing to share and collaborate in personal life as well as professional life and help each other to achieve project and success. And the third thing is about the opportunity. The opportunity we have to use this technology and disrupt some business standards in different business lines in order to be more sustainable for nature and for people. It's really extraordinary to be here and share it all with you.
Happy birthday, C4C. I want to say happy birthday, and I want to celebrate the past year and remember the first time that Melanie called me out in a meeting and spoke about C4C being the heartbeat of Catalyst. And I remember the time that Yoram and I led a discussion about how I became an environmentalist, and it was so enthralling to hear everyone's story. And I've received so much support and positive feedback here at C4C. I remember Nori effortlessly engaging me in conversation and group discussion and encouraging my leadership, and Simon and Cole for being shoulder-to-shoulder workmates, and all of the people, all of the work, all of the participation, like Sean and Baba and Dan and George and Danae and Blaine and Tommy Frey and Tyler and Dylan. What I really want to say is that I love you. Let's continue to build a better way of relating and working together and supporting each other. Bye, thanks.
Cardano4Climate is applying the tools of Cardano to solving the most difficult problem humans have ever faced. How could anyone not want to be a part of that?
Hi there, my name is Lawrence, and in 2021 I came across Charles in the infamous whiteboard video and was thoroughly impressed by the vision for a third-generation blockchain. So I created a proposal in Fund 7 and wanted to get feedback and insight from a Cardano community that focused on impact and social good projects. This community has allowed me to make connections with other people and projects where I can contribute by doing what I most like doing, which is writing code. Thank you, C4C. Cheers.
Hello, my name's Cole Bartlett, and I came to the Cardano community because I saw the advantages it had over other blockchains and because it had a strong connection to sustainability and making the world work better for all. Cardano4Climate became part of my story over a year ago, where I met Melanie because she wanted to start C4C after watching a Charles Hoskinson video. Before this time, I had started Sustainable ADA, where we highlight the stories and use cases to help connect the dots between blockchain, Cardano, and sustainable development. Because of these synergies and connections, C4C was the right place for me.
Ngoma from Malawi, Africa. I'm a member of Cardano community. I have benefited a lot from Cardano ADA through the address that I have. I was introduced to Cardano community by Shane from Ireland, the owner of Open LATAM. All these plastics you are seeing here is because of the support from Cardano community through ADA. I have more than 75 young volunteers fighting plastic pollution in Malawi. I say bravo Cardano community. Thank you. Bye from Malawi.
Not bad for a decentralized community coming together. So I just dropped. Go ahead.
I had to change the sound like right at the end, so it was a little bit louder than it usually would be. For the background noise, but yeah, no, that was amazing. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
yeah, and the idea of the video, the idea of the video is really to put together kind of why we are here and who is the people here, and I think that's nice to share, you know, to share it again across communities, and you know, yeah, why we are here, right? So and
So I dropped the links in the chat. There's a form if you want to include a short video. We're going to go through some of the videos that we've taken as community, and maybe we'll get some clips out of there and really compile a video of social impact. One thing that I think happened, Lausanne, there was lots of impact all over the place, but Cardano for Climate really isn't heard. And these amazing projects that are going on, our voice is just so very, very little. And I think the wider community doesn't realize who we are. And I think this video will be really helpful just to say, you know, Lawrence there, he likes code, and this is the stuff he does. Peter talking about Tridano and Landano and RealFi, you know, all these different little clips. Each time I meet one of you, your face gets ingrained in my head and your name in my heart. And, you know, I see you more and more, and it's like just more
yeah,
awareness.
and it's a good example. The Cardano Summit and in general was a good example because many of the sessions that were organized actually somehow by us, but we never put our name behind it. But microfinance sessions, impact investment sessions, some of the main sessions and the main stage were organized by us, but actually we never put kind of the name. So yeah. So the idea was actually, and then a lot of people say we didn't know how many impact actually projects there are happening on Cardano as well, kind of after the summit. So yeah, so that's I think also great.
So we have the Singularity Catalyst happening right now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we'll close this one down real quick. Boaz, we have a recording. Here's Peter. Here's Boaz. I see really cool things happening, and I'll share more details with Boaz through Telegram.
Yeah, Boaz and Swarif, I put my Discord and Twitter handle in the Zoom chat because I know the Zoom chat will close in a second, but please hit me up there and let's keep chatting.
And I'll save the chat so that I can share that with you as well. So thank you all for coming.
And again, feel free to jump into the 223 plans and add anything that you would like to see or think that is important, or whatever you feel from your side, or where you can contribute, and let's make it our plan.
So one thing, just to encourage you to put down those crazy ideas in this document. Do it. Don't be afraid. Nobody judges. It could be the stupidest idea you could imagine, and we'll look at it. Okay. Cardano for Climate started that way.
Can you post a link to that forum for me? Sorry, I got here late. And if somebody wouldn't mind posting a link to this Singularity Net Zoom, that would be cool.
We're going to do that right now. Oops, trying to copy it too much.
To be honest, I'd rather guys, but like I'll go see a bot as well. I got here late. It's my own fault.
Catalyst Door says, you know, crazy ideas, put them in. Cardano for Climate, the first challenge we put in was that crazy idea, and here we are a year and a half later. So it may seem crazy, put it down in that strategic plan, because your crazy idea is connected to a whole bunch of other people, and it's gonna create a chord, a symphony with other people. So let's get it done. Boaz, you've got your hand. Please feel free to drop off. I'm going to just talk to Boaz. Jump into Singularity Catalyst, and I'll see you there. Okay. Marie, if you want to hang out longer, anybody hang out, I'll hang out here for a bit longer. Okay. Boaz. Happy holidays. Yes. Happy holidays.
Great. Thank you. I'd like to know only this for Nori. I'd like to know if the video is required to be only in English, or if we can do our in French. Yeah.
Please speak your heart language. Thank you so much for that question, because we need to be speaking in our own languages. Boaz, thank you so much for that.